Okay, and it's quite sad that there's only half of you here. I'm not sure. It's happening in my other classes as well. So I'm really hoping that the rest are not here, maybe because they're lazy, because that would be a better reason than not being able to get connections and things like that. All right, so please tell your friends, okay, don't miss classes if they have no important reasons or no significant reasons. Okay. I mean, I understand the predicament that we are in, okay, especially those in Malaysia, we are under lockdown again, okay, but at least if you are able to join class, you should take that as a privilege, okay, that you still are able to join class, still able to continue your education. Okay, please remind your friends, because I've seen this trend in all other classes also. Many students are not attending the class. Okay, it's okay if you have really good reasons. Probably you have no connection. Okay, you have technical problems. Okay, I know some students have to work, things like that. Okay, because it's a very challenging time we are in. For those students, if you can help your friend, okay, please share with them what you have learned in class. Okay, but those who are not here simply because they are taking online classes for granted, please remind them as well. All right, okay, because it's not worth failing or having to go through these classes again. Okay? Especially now, I think with FYP1, FYP2, internship, some of you will be taking internship classes, doing internship much longer. You do not want to mess your study plan. Okay? You want to repeat courses like professional speech comm, there's no need to repeat. Okay? Professional speech comm pula, marah Dr. Aida. Professional media practices. Okay, for this course, okay, nobody should fail, right? As long as you come to class, you've been following what we have been studying, right? Okay, so yes. Now, okay, we have gone through weeks and weeks of classes, okay. We have covered a lot of topics with regard to professional media practices. Okay, thank you to those who switch on your camera. I really appreciate them. Okay. So today, okay, is really just to summarize. Okay, like I told you in the first class, why do you have to take this course? This course is just to give you an insider look. Okay, basically just a peek, all right, into what is the media industry. All right, how the industry works. Okay, that when you take this course, you should be at the advantage. You know, you should be different from those who do not study media and comm. Okay, because like you know, all right, this industry that you want to venture into, all right, is not that professional in terms that anyone can do the job. Okay, so what are your added advantage? Okay, your added advantage, you must go, for example, for an interview ready by knowing what is expected when you work in the industry. But working with the media today, okay, as you know also, it does not mean that you are specific to the media industry. Okay, you can be working at the media part of a particular business. You know, because media is so saturated, media is so important that all businesses, all industries now have their own media department. Okay, everybody wants to create content, right? Insurance company, security company, okay? You jual sambal also, you want to create content. Okay, so media plays a very important role in that sense because it communicates messages. Okay, and nowadays you can see also the media practitioners are pushing the government to consider them as frontliners. Okay, why media frontliners? Because media give us access to the information. And especially in times of crisis and conflict like we are in at the moment, information plays the most important role. Okay, information is as important as the vaccine. Okay, why? Because if there's no right information, what will occur is misinformation, isn't it, right? Okay, just like when doctor gives you wrong medicine, it's also as dangerous when you get the wrong information. right? So this is why media practitioners, okay, although some people consider this kind of job can be done by anyone, okay, it is a very important job. Okay, so why I tell you this, so that you understand why you're taking this course, because I know some are taking communication because they cannot survive engineering. Okay, or some are taking communication because they think there's no mathematics. Okay, so easy. Oh, it's just coming up with videos. Yeah. So you must feel proud or must feel a need why you are here. Then only when you graduate, you feel like you want to do something that you can contribute, okay, with the job that you are doing. Okay, so again, the advantage is that you should know what this what we call it industry is all about. Okay, for example now, okay, during the pandemic, do you think the media industry is badly affected or not? What do you think? Is the media industry affected? Okay. Of course, some are affected, but some are not. Which industry is affected the most, do you think? Who knows? Hmm? Which
Films.
part? Sorry, Amira? The
Films,
what?
madam.
Yes, okay, the cinema, the film industry. All right, because we cannot go watch at the cinema. Okay, so the film industry, okay, is affected. And you know, a lot of cinemas are closing down. MBO is closed down. Isn't it? Isn't that sad? That's where most of you spend your time before the pandemic, right? Okay, that's where you get your assignment done in MBO. Okay, but that is sad. It's really affecting the industry. But in the first class, we already understand that media industry is resilient. It will not die off just like that. It will fight. Okay, so what is the media industry, the film industry is doing right now to respond to this? How do they continue to make money? How? Who knows? How are
Netflix,
they?
madam.
Pardon?
Netflix.
Yes, they move to streaming services. Very good. Sissoko also. Okay, they move to streaming services. And actually, even without the pandemic, okay, the film industry is changing. It's just that the pandemic forces them to go faster. All right. Now you can see, okay, they cannot survive and then they sell off their rights to streaming services. And actually, they can make more money with streaming services also. Okay, not only they pay, streaming services will buy their film, they get recurrent. You know, when you watch movie, you watch one time, right? But when it's on Netflix and you like it, you can watch it many times. Okay, and they can get access to bigger audience. Okay, and the industry also responds. Now there's more. Every big company is coming up with their own streaming services. Okay, it used to be just Netflix. Now we're talking about what else? Amazon Prime, HBO Max, okay, Disney Plus. Every single one have their own services. Hulu. Okay, so it becomes competitive. But our point is what? The industry is resilient. So how do they become resilient? By becoming sensitive to their surroundings and the changing that is occurring. Okay, so this is what is required of you when you are part of the industry. Okay, so this is basically today just not really talking just about the future. It's really talking about the current changes that is affecting the media industry. Okay, can you see the slides?
Yes, madam.
All right, thank you. Now, what is the future of the media? Not really future lah. What is going on in the media right now? Okay, it's because the future is now. Basically, that is it. All right, changes are going on really fast. Okay, and actually not just the media industry, all industries, everything is moving really, really fast. Okay, but actually, right, if we follow the Islamic teachings, when things move on really fast, it's towards nak dekat kiamat dah. Alright? Okay, but that is just another thing lah. But point is what? The world is moving really fast and technology is pushing us. Okay, you cannot sit down. Everything becomes faster. And the pandemic, I think, rather than slowing things, is actually pushing things. All right, pushing us to go faster and faster. Okay, so the future of media, which is now, is all about mostly streaming services. Streaming means what? It's really changing the medium itself. Okay, it used to be television, a box. Okay, radio, a box. Cinema, you go to a place, a bigger box. Okay, buying music, a cassette box, CD box. But now everything is consolidated. Okay, so the medium is changing. But we have also studied the medium is the message. What do we mean the medium is the message? Once the medium change, the message or the content also must change. Okay, when we talk about radio or when we talk about music, okay, the medium has changed. We no longer listen from a radio box. Okay, we no longer buy CDs. Where do you listen to your music? Okay, via streaming services or on YouTube. Okay, and in this, it requires the music to be what? Music also must be video. Okay, so how would those people working in the music industry respond? They cannot sit down, okay, and wait for things to come. They must be fast as well. Alright, they must realize that music has changed, and then you cannot just produce sound, you must also produce visuals. Okay, and some people are producing so many other content, they maximize. Okay. So the entertainment industry, because bottom line, when we talk about the media, it's really about entertainment. Okay, it's really making money through entertainment. So the biggest news over the past decades, okay, has been the growth of providers, streaming providers, and the start of digital download. Okay, so the internet is still driving the future and makes audiences global in ways not seen before. So the audiences now becomes global with streaming services. What do we mean by global? We've already studied this, the media industry. Global audience means what? We are all watching the same thing. We are all getting the same content. Okay? So this means that the industry is becoming what? Bigger. Although we have studied the industry, okay, is becoming bigger, the ownership is actually what? Smaller. Okay? Why? Because we're all watching Netflix, we're all watching streaming services, and we compromise what? Local TVs. Astro's subscription has gone down. Okay? Astro cannot compete with Netflix. Okay? So in future, content will be user specific. So we already studied this, segmentation, okay, specialization. So this is what I mean, okay, when you study media, you take this type of courses, you should know better. Okay, you understand what is going on. Those who do not study, they know technical aspect. They can produce video. They can produce content. Okay, can you follow? All right. So what do we mean by content must be user specific? Everything is targeted. Just like when you are watching Netflix, right? Even on Astro now, everything is targeted. You switch on, the first page is everything that you like. All right, so what would be on your streaming, your first page? Sisoho's Netflix first page is what? 50 Shades of Grey. Is it? 365 days. So you got to be careful. If you want to know a person, okay, go to their Netflix. No Netflix, madam. Alhamdulillah, God save you. For now. Okay? Alright, so point is that, okay? So in future, winning content will be user specific. Just like YouTube, we have studied this, all your content now. Although we are global, so we get access to more content, actually our content is smaller because it's focused to what we already like. Although despite the pandemic, they say the cinematic experience is here to stay. People will still go watch movies, all right? And when they cannot, they create a movie ambience at home. Okay, because they like the feeling. And once the pandemic is over, I'm pretty sure people will go like crazy to watch movie. Okay? So ultimately, in the industry, the consumer who determines where the entertainment industry is going. Okay? The consumer will decide what they like and what they don't like. Right? So media companies needs to be ready for new economic models. Okay? Because there is a demand for content anywhere, anytime. This is what we mean by economic models. Now Disney, remember we studied so big already Disney, right? And Disney not only owns distribution channels, they also own the cinemas. But were they affected by internet? These were. When Netflix came about, were they affected? Yes. So how did they respond? They changed their economic models. Less focus on cinema, now they spend a lot of money on streaming services. Okay, and when they own the streaming services, they will take away their content from Netflix and put it on theirs. So you can no longer watch princess drama or Frozen on Netflix. You need to buy this Disney. So people will buy this Disney. Okay, and because you need to, people's demand. Okay, they demand content now. Okay. So it's not like the old days when watching movie, you wait for the particular slots. Okay? And then there is this increased competition for exclusive programming. What is exclusive programming? Like Friends Reunion. You watch Friends Reunion? Or you guys are too young? Friends? What's that? Oh my God. Please don't make me feel so old. Okay lah, never mind. I don't know any other example. Okay, but Friends Reunion. Okay, Friends is supposed to be one of the most popular, what we call it, sitcom from the old days. Okay, so they did a reunion. So who had the rights? HBO. Okay, so if you can have this exclusive, okay, so old people like me will be very excited. We will pay. We will go watch. Because it reminds us of our younger days. Okay? Alright? So it's exclusive programming. So in the UK, for example, okay, the majority of daily media consumption are those under the age of 30 now. 30 and involves a handset. So we all know who? Young people. And young is very young. It used to be young is considered 18 to 30. Now young is from the day you were born until you're 30. Because access to media is becoming, okay, is attracting much younger audiences. And children are having their own smartphones. Okay, so in that sense, the media audiences is also growing. Okay, but it doesn't mean your grandparents are not using the media. For the over 55, smart devices are used. Okay, and also, okay, they still use their daily consumption. Okay. Conversely, smartphone-based, socially curated short-form video and music are the basis of entertainment for younger audience. Now, what does this mean? Even content is changing because the medium is the message. Remember, I just discussed just now, the medium has changed. It used to be you watch on the screen 2 hours. But when you are watching on your phone, you cannot wait 2 hours. So the content is becoming shorter and shorter. Okay? Short content, but in big quantities. Okay, if you go your history, YouTube, every day, how many videos you watch? Minimum 50. Okay? So this is also, that's why you can see a lot of content becoming shorter. Even when TV3 comes up with drama series, it's shorter. Because they need to not just focus on television, they need to focus it on their digital content. Okay, so a lot of things are becoming shorter and shorter. Music, TV series, even, movies, TV series, and even music. It used to be songs are about 5 minutes long. Now 3 minutes is considered long. Okay? What about advertising? This is interesting. Why do we have to learn about advertising? Advertising is the backbone of our industry. This is where we make money. Now, you see here, when we talk about the media industry, or basically just market. Market means, okay, where is the place where people can buy? All right. So the world market, okay, in 2020 or coming in the future, okay, the biggest market is Asia. Okay, the second biggest market is North America, and I think it was Africa. I think here they just want to compare with the US. Okay. What does it say here? It tells us for the industry that your audiences, okay, where is the money? The money is in Asia, not in the US, not in Europe. That's why they're coming here, they're targeting us, and we're very happy, right? Oh, the more program, the better. But actually what? Because we are the biggest market. Okay, what does it mean? Yes, you may say, oh, Asia looks like we're much poorer economically, okay, less than the US or the European countries. Okay, but how come we are the biggest market? That means we can buy more than the US. Why do you think we can buy more? Why? Are we richer than them? Why is Asia the biggest market?
Is it because our population is bigger?
Very good. Because we make more babies. Okay, that's true. Our population. And our population is young. Okay, many modern countries are considered old. What they call it? There's a name for it. It's an old population. Basically, most people there are old and dying. Okay, so that's why Prophet say make more babies. Okay, there is some advantage with quantity. There's more of us. All right. So actually, Asians can make more demand. We can demand the content. Unfortunately, if we study hegemony and things like that, we don't demand. We're just happy with what they give us. But you can see also that the lot of content is becoming more inclusive. All right, they're starting to show more Asian faces, but mostly just Indian and Chinese faces. They don't ever show our Malay face. Okay, not yet. Okay, so Asia is the biggest, so that's why all the content, they focus in our part of the world. And because we are a young population, it's much easier for them to train us. You know, from young we already. Oh, today Malaysia Disney launch. Okay. And it's not that expensive phone, right? Okay, Netflix, Disney. Okay. So as Malaysians, or as Asians, we are easily consuming all this product. And since we have been consuming since early, okay, we have been trained. Okay, on Disney or on Netflix, there are local content, but do you watch the local content? No, you still prefer the Western or imported ones. Okay. And secondly, I cannot see, okay, the shape of advertising. Come. Advertisers will use focus on demographic data. Okay, what is demographic data? So remember we said just now the media will be user specific. Okay, so that's why data is important. They want to know who we are, especially what we like. Okay, that's why we talk about data breach, Facebook selling. Why is Facebook so successful? Because they have our data. Okay, and we have learned all of this. That's why you need to be able to link, okay, what we're discussing today. You know, data is the intel inside. Data can tell, okay, the providers, the media industry, the trends. Okay, data tells them, don't focus on the US, focus on Asia, focus on China. Okay, so advertisers are using data, this kind of data. Why? Because then they can specify. If they're going to sell shampoo, they know who specifically to target. No longer we focus on mass advertising. Okay, and they focus on CRM. CRM is what? Customer relation. Okay? And advertisers who plan to increasing leverage, okay, they focus a lot of their money on management software. And videos, advertisements are now all video. Video and digital advertising. So this tells what to the industry? Okay, television, radio cannot make a lot of money anymore. They can still make money, but not as much. So if you want to make money, you must go digital. Okay? So TV3 can no longer just make money from TV advertisements, but advertisements in their Facebook page or advertisements in their YouTube page. Okay? So this means what again? These are all the changes. Okay? So despite the changes in the media, what's really happening, the advertising, the cost to advertise becomes higher and higher, means what? More products are being produced, more advertisements are being needed. So the more people spend on advertising, the more important the media becomes. So despite the pandemic, despite the change in the media with the internet and all, the media is growing and growing and growing. And there's a lot of opportunities for media students like you. Okay? So today, okay, they no longer focus, although we are global audience, remember, we all watch the same thing, okay? But the content, like we have said, is becoming more specific, right? So even advertisements no longer focus on global advertisement. You know what we mean by global advertisement? They produce one advertisement and then they air on all the television all over the world. But today, that's not how social media functions. Alright, social media, internet is very targeted. So advertisements also becomes very targeted. Okay, what do we mean? Targeted. So when you want to sell cookies or sell biscuits, when you sell it to the Malay audiences, you have to create a special advertisements or video for them. Okay, compared to how you sell the biscuits to the American people. Okay, so in this sense, okay, you don't be confused, right? We say audiences are global. That means that we still watch almost the same thing. Basically, generally, we watch the same thing. Okay, but we are also driven by, because it's so easy to create content. Okay, we are driven mostly by our interest. Okay, so the content can be tailor-made to a specific group of people. And why do they tailor-made it to us? Because then it's easier for them to target us for advertising. Can you follow or not? Alright, why is it making, okay, they offer us so much to just identify what we like. Because actually it's easier for them to target. This guy, this group of Malays, they like to cook, for example. So you don't need to create $1 million advertisement to advertise for everyone. Just produce a 10,000 ringgit YouTube video to this small group of people who will buy your product. Okay? So the digital technology has opened up the global communication landscape. Okay, learning to use the landscape optimally and creatively is an ongoing challenge. So this is we have learned. Okay, the industry is continuously changing. Okay, so and over reliance on technology, they say don't over rely on technology because it can inhibit creativity. Technology should be used to facilitate facilitate access to audiences, but it shouldn't be used to too much technology can inhibit creativity, right? What do we mean by that? Okay, so by nowadays, okay, if you notice, people are really going back, okay, it is more artistic to take photo traditionally, okay, because it offers more creativity. Okay, so the future will be creative. The challenge will be how best to employ and embrace that creativity that benefits brands. Creativity is our ideas. It used to be the challenge, right? People are creative, but they don't know how to translate it into content. Because it used to be, it's so hard to do graphic design. It's so hard to do video production. But now all the technical part is easy. So since everybody have access to these technical facilities, what sets you apart is your ability to be creative. All right. I think in the first class also we have discussed, right? Being creative, some people are born with it, yes. Some people are born just creative. But when you are the media industries, okay, which is also a creative industry, okay, so you need to be creative, and you can be creative if you are willing to work, right? What do I mean by this, all right? You need to do a lot of research, look a lot at videos, okay, look at all the films, then you can get more ideas to work with. All right, so basically budget for advertisements, okay, online advertisement is increasing while TV and print media decrease. And the US and China will account for nearly 62%, and now I think it's up to 70% of global media advertising spending. Now, this is already, we've also discussed when we talk about global media. The audiences are becoming bigger. Okay, but the owners, the ones that controlling decision makers, are becoming smaller. So the media right now is dominated by the US, okay, and China is slowly following their footsteps. Okay. So what about the music industry? So here. Okay, so you can see the global music industry also experiencing the same trend. Oh no. Hello kids, I'm back. Sorry. I didn't notice, okay, I was talking to myself just now. Okay, so we continue, right? So it's okay, we are almost done anyways. All right, hold on, let me. Okay, are my slides on? Can you see? I'm at music industry.
Yes, madam.
Okay.
Yes.
So here, when we talk about the music industry, just like other industry, the trend is still the same. It's quite small. Okay, just let me explain to you the graph, okay? So here they go from 2001 to 2019, okay, before the pandemic. But the trend is still the same, like it's still ongoing. So where do the profit comes from? The dark blue is total physical, means sales of music. Okay, sales of cassettes, sales of CDs, okay? And the almost darker blue or black here is the amount of streaming. Okay, the light blue is downloads and other digital. Green, performance rights. Okay, and the last one is synchronization, I think. Let me see, even I cannot read it. Syndication, all right? So can you see the trend, okay? In the early years, it used to be the music industry, they make money from sales of cassettes, of songs, okay, of the music. Okay, hold on, who wants to come in? Okay, all right. But as time goes by, okay, up to 2016 and up to 2019, their income from total physical sales has decreased, and they rely on what? Where do they get their money from? Dark blue here, streaming, total streaming. Okay, so that is why now most of celebrities are opening or selling their music catalogs to the streaming services. Okay, that's where you get your music as well, isn't it, right? Okay, and then downloads and other digital platforms, and then performance rights. So now they get more money from performance. That means by doing concerts, okay? And when they do concerts, even TV programs, okay, they do still get some performance or pay, okay? So the music industry also, what does it mean? It moves towards streaming. But unfortunately, the industry is actually half the size, okay? It means what? It's not making as much money, music industry, okay? Why is it not making much money? Because you are not watching, you're not buying the music, you're listening for free, isn't it? Right? So it's really celebrities or musicians that are creative enough, okay, that are really making money. Okay, so they don't depend on selling their music, so probably based on performance, okay, or if they create other forms of content. Okay, because the sales of music alone is no longer profitable. So digital streaming has created a world where music is largely free, okay, and actually it is killing the industry. So Spotify, iTunes is trying to help the industry because you have to pay, but you pay very little. Okay? So there is this value gap. Okay, because 64 million people subscribe to streaming services. Okay, but but almost 1 billion people consume music for free. What do we mean by this value gap? Yes, you have options streaming, right? Spotify, Pandora, okay, YouTube official videos, those are streaming. That means you pay to watch it, okay? But although you have these options, most of us are still listening for free. You download it somewhere, even on YouTube for free. So this is why the music industry, despite streaming services, you can see the increase here, they are losing money. So that's why all the singer now wants to become actors and actresses or models. They can make more money there. All right. So here, okay, even digital music is making more money than physical sales of music. Streaming is still the main source of income. Okay. But because of all these, what we call it, challenges, all right, digital challenges, because you can still get free music, okay, the industry is becoming smaller. So when you plan to work in the music industry, okay, you must understand this situation and you must focus on how, okay, your content or your artists can make or exploit the digital device. Cannot depend only on selling the music. You notice or not, all celebrities now also, especially during the pandemic, come up with their own YouTube page. Because they cannot make money. So that's why on YouTube, at least you watch, they can get some income. Okay. So why is there this value gap? We said just now, because people still download for free. Because internet regulation is very mild. There's no internet regulation. All countries in the world, even in Malaysia, okay, we try not to control our internet. Okay, so even when we download for free, there's a lot of piracy. Usually governments or even the industry cannot take much action. So it's really up to how you can educate the audience, okay, to become responsible audiences lah, that you are willing to pay. But it's only human, right? Why you pay when you can get it for free? Okay, so this is the challenge. What about mobile? Of course, everything now is mobile, yeah? Okay. So some says failure is important innovation. If you don't fall, you don't learn. Okay. So many of these, I think we've already studied this, right? Okay, the fall of the internet revolution, the dot-com bubble burst. So they have learned, okay, to work on their failures. So music industry, for example, they failed earlier on. Now they are trying to find ways to overcome that. Okay, so that's why all of the content now is mostly on mobile. Okay, Mobile-driven technology is in its infancy, but batteries will be next leap forward. Okay, now we are talking about mobile. Mobile means what? Okay, we're not connected by wires. But soon, okay, they are still creating technologies where you can save all the energy. All right, so you can have longer access. Of course, all right, for the first time, TV sales have fallen. Many channels now are providing everything lah. Media is now mobile. Okay, and this also have changed our access to news. Okay, news also is no longer in hard form. We no longer watch news in the whole context. You don't watch news for 30 minutes. You get only excerpt of news. All right, you read one article that trends in your Facebook or in your Instagram, and that's news. Okay, not like the old days where you sit down and watch or you sit down and read the whole newspaper. Of course, of all publishing industries, newspaper is the most badly affected. Okay, so how have they responded? Okay, so that's why you see newspapers are all also depending on their social media. Okay, so Berita Harian, Harian Metro, they need to have a lot of followers on Facebook. Why? That's why they share all their news on Facebook. So hoping that you will share their news. Okay? And no longer they expect income from sales, they expect income from advertisements on Facebook. Okay? And newspapers, alright, is a popular online content. Although you no longer buy newspapers, we still share and read their content. Okay? So now news organizations are releasing virtual reality projects, okay, immersive news videos. Even news today are relying on short videos. Okay, so this is what we mean when the medium changes the message. You understand or not, medium change message? Because the news is no longer in newspaper or a 30 minutes news program. Because they are now online, so the content has changed. News becomes shorter. Okay, and news must be in video form because we're too lazy to read. Okay, and what does this mean? It does also give some implication to the society. Society today are only exposed to short-term news, sensationalized news. We don't get context about particular news, all right? News providers will in future need to work towards a best-in-class service that delivers content personalization, multimedia articles, and breaking updates. Why? Because they cannot compete. Social media is giving you more updates than the news. Newspaper are taking, updates from Twitter. Okay, so they need to compete in that. And also the danger of news, just like other content, is becoming specialized and segmented. That soon Izzati will read specific news that is different from Ahmad's news and different from Amira's news. Why? Because she will only get news that she likes. And what would this lead to? This will lead a divide in society. What she thinks is important is different from what other people is thinking as important. Okay? Oh, so this is an old one, RK radio. This is an old statistics. But uniquely, we say that less people are watching TV, less people are buying newspapers, but more people are listening to the radio. How come? Because the advantage of radio is it is complementary. That means you listen to the radio while you're doing something else. Okay, so more people are driving, more people are listening to the radio. When you're at work, you can still listen to the radio. So that's why advertising, more marketers are willing to advertise on radio than on TV. Okay, this is the unique trend because in the old days, okay, when TV came, the radio's advertising rate has gone down because people focused on TV. Okay, but now as the world is changing, radio is becoming popular again. Okay, So just like other media, okay, radio is becoming mobile and affected by streaming. Okay. So why also radio is popular? Because radio is also very targeted and segmented. It's so easy for media company to come up with another radio station that is targeted to a very specific audience. Okay, the more specific, the better for the advertisers. So radio, they no longer need to have millions of listeners, no need. As long as they have a good, strong followers that is targeted, that can satisfy the advertiser. Never mind, Light and Easy only have 500,000 listenerships. They are still strong because that 500,000 listeners can fit into a specific demographic that is required by a specific advertisers. You know, if you are selling vitamin for health, for old people, where do you advertise? A radio station that caters for old people. Yeah. So I think this is just the same here. So how do we survive? Okay, how the media survives. Okay, whilst the challenges facing the media industries in the future are legion or many, there are some key strategic approaches which could help all businesses cope with the unknown. All right, so all industries, not just media, must be flexible. Okay, that means what? They cannot be rigid. And I think we have learned all this. Remember, we even talk about when they come up with softwares, with new technology. You know, they don't close off totally the technology. They allow for cooperations or syndications. Okay? They need to embrace new markets. That's why they focus on Asia. They focus on Africa. All right? What is that? Media Primas Digital. Hold on, yeah. Digital content. Okay? So, like Media Prima is a traditional, not a free-to-air channel. So nobody is already watching TV3 on TV3. They're watching TV3, short programs of TV3 on YouTube, whatever that's trending on their Facebook. Okay, so all programs now are very segmented. Okay, but they don't come in full package. Okay, embrace new markets, like I said just now. Okay, and you must be creative. Okay, and it's good to have professional advisors. Now, when we are in media companies, no longer do they just rely on the content creators. They also have digital innovators. Okay. So how does this affect the industry? Things are really changing. It also affects you. What do they need from you? Okay. So for media practitioners, it's no longer just technical and creative abilities, but most important is the ability to work with data. Okay, what do we mean by data? So let's remember we talked about advertising, focusing on specific demographic information. Because when you are able to work with data, okay, you can get access to information that will direct you straight, okay, to the target market. And data will inform you about the changes, the constant changes that is ongoing in the industry. Okay? So it used to be, okay, we don't talk about data managers, okay? Or we talk about coding. Now you have IT as a very important, what we call it, department in the companies, okay, media companies. Okay? And we talk about search engine optimization, search engine management expertise. These are all new, okay, requirements, okay, inside the industry. Because the industry has merged together with the digital technology. All right. Okay. So basically, this is not the future lah. This is basically now. What is going on now, and what you can expect, and what you need to prepare yourself for. Right? Okay, so that is it. Like I said, it's a very short lesson just to like basically summarize, okay, to show you where you are supposed to be now. Okay, so I think the whole course has been designed, okay, to make you aware. Okay, we've already studied the history of media. Then we also studied, okay, how the industry functions. And now we're looking about the changes that are still ongoing. So I really hope if you have been paying attention, all right, you will know, okay, where this industry is going. And it's moving really, really fast. Okay, so it's not going to wait for you. So you must be able to innovate and also, match with the demands, the current demands. Right? Okay. Any questions? Can prepare myself for the media industry. Okay. Now, first of all, we must also understand, right, in the industry itself, there are so many components. You can be under the administrative, you can be under the creative, and now you can be also under the technology. Right? So some people are born to be creative. Okay. But like I have told you in the first class, it is best, especially for Muslim practitioners, okay, to not just be part of the creative team. Okay, the best skill is the ability to be creative and administrative. That you will become the decision makers. You get what I'm saying here? Right? What do we mean by decision makers? Okay, the industry is like you have seen, is growing, right? So big, and so many content and so many people producing content. But when it comes to the structure of who owns the industry, it's really small. Okay? And who owns, who decides, and mostly not us. Okay? So I think this is the skill, okay, and this is the goal I think that for Muslim media practitioners especially must try to achieve. That we must become decision makers. Okay, that you must think beyond content creation. Maybe you are very good at creating video or editing videos. Okay, maybe you are very good at selecting music, but you must think beyond that. That when you want to work as a journalist is just a stepping stone. You must work towards becoming the editor, the chief editor, and maybe even the chairman. So you can decide what is good. Okay? The same thing with the music industry. Oh, I like to be a DJ, right? It's okay to be a DJ. Some people have the passion, for 50 years they stay as a DJ. But we need people who wants to be more than just DJs. You start being DJ, then you become producer. Okay, and then you can become the manager, station manager. This is the skills that we must have, and that skill is administrative. Okay, you can manage, not just the creative aspect. Okay. So si Soho, I hope one day, okay, you will become the editor okay, the radio, manager so you can help, okay, so you can sponsor programs that's what I really want lah. Okay, the most important thing for alumni, your lecturers will search you for sponsorship lah later on because you will make money more than us. Okay, 10 years from now, I still working with student, kesian student buat program. So I need your help. Okay, so if you are the journalist, you can contribute lah, you can share your experiences with your juniors later on. But if you are decision maker, I want your money. Something like that. Okay, money more valuable. Okay, can help your brothers and sisters later on probably have better, newsroom something like that. Right? Okay, any other questions? Okay, all right.
Madam,
Yeah?
I just want to ask your opinion. Because recently, during the emergence of the apps named Clubhouse, are you familiar with it?
The Apple where you can
Yeah.
communicate with only selected people, yeah.
Okay, and then lepas emergence of the Clubhouse, so ada banyak, there will be so many initiative banyak yang similar like that. And then there's one tweet I saw, they said that the DJ, the radio announcer in the future might lost their job, maybe macam tu lah, because of this sebabkan ada apps yang macam ni yang.
Yes.
So what is your opinion, madam, on that?
Of course, all right. Everything is a threat. For example, DJs, like you said, right? With Clubhouse, anyone can create their own channel and invite their own listeners. Not just Clubhouse, even with, when they have their podcasts, kan, on Spotify, everyone can create their own content. Okay, yes, this will affect the radio presenters. Okay, but that's why also you see radio presenters, even the job task is changing. That they're no longer just radio presenters, they are expected to be performers, okay? And then they are expected to be more creative, they need to do video content, right? All radio stations now, they have their own YouTube videos, and then the DJs have to do content, right? So this is how you need to be resilient lah. To totally kill off radio presenters, I don't think so, because we just learned just now, radio is becoming still popular, okay, and still powerful advertising medium, okay, but whether it will threaten the way they do their job, yes, definitely. Okay, so that's why the whole industry is dynamic, it's changing, and soon if there's going to be this Clubhouse, I'm sure radio stations will create something that can try to match or compete. Okay, and I think Clubhouse, the coverage is only by invitation, right? Something like that. Okay, maybe it's smaller, but of course there's going to be more after this. Okay, and for practitioners, like I said, that's why you cannot just rely on the creative aspect, because the creative aspect will definitely change, right? So you need to look at the industry, as a way to move above lah. Okay. All right, Izzati, I hope that answers your question.
Yes, madam, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, I think if there are no other questions, okay, we will still meet next week for a short time because I want to discuss your final exam. Okay, so you can come or don't come, up to you. Okay, but we're going to discuss your final exam. Just don't forget to submit your assignment on Friday. Okay? Right, so if there is no question, thank you very much. We end the class today with Tasbih Kafarah and what else? Okay, thank you kids. Assalamualaikum.
Thank you, madam. Waalaikumsalam.
Thank you, madam.
Waalaikumsalam.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, madam.